Hey everyone, it's Jack from Cultaholic.com, back again with another news update, this time involving 3 separate promotions. It's all kicking off in the world of wrestling, but let's start with Impact Wrestling, where at yesterday's tapings, there were a couple of major surprises. Now, I should warn you before I report on this story that these are spoilers, but it was reported on Impact's official website, so I guess they're not trying to keep it too heavily under wraps, but if you do want to wait until Impact airs on television, then please do skip ahead slightly in this video. So yes, at the tapings in Orlando, we saw the return of Austin Aries. He appeared briefly in Impact Wrestling in November last year, just in a sort of commentary role and to promote his book, but this was his first in-ring appearance. He appeared in the Impact Zone and was immediately jumped by Chris Adonis, who is the current champion Eli Drake's sort of sidekick lackey cohort. He jumped Aries and then Eli Drake challenged him immediately to a one-on-one match for the Impact Global Championship. Now, the second big shock is that Aries won the match. He is the new Impact Global Champion, or will be when it goes to air officially, I guess. This is huge for Impact, and it's really a sign of their new direction moving forwards under the new executive vice presidents, Don Callis, who we of course saw commentate at Wrestle Kingdom 12 for New Japan, and Scott D'Amore, who used to appear in Impact as a manager for Team Canada. With these two new Canadian executives at the helm, it'll be very interesting to see what kind of direction Impact has moving forwards into the new year. They've already reverted from the old 6-sided ring back to a traditional 4-sided ring, with Callis giving the reason on today's conference call that the only argument he could really think of in favor of a 6-sided ring is that it's different. But nowadays, everyone knows that Impact ran occasionally with a 6-sided ring, and it was only to be different really from WWE. Now that they've reverted to the 4-sided ring, they're sort of being viewed as more of a legitimate competition once again. He and D'Amore also hinted in the conference call that Impact will be looking to film elsewhere apart from in Orlando, Florida throughout 2018, hopefully expanding their reach around the United States and possibly even Canada. Let's not forget that last year's Bound for Glory was held in Canada, so it's a sign certainly of Impact Wrestling trying to embrace this new, more global shift in wrestling. Now over to New Japan Pro Wrestling news, where Dave Meltzer has released his star ratings for Wrestle Kingdom 12, and there is one 5-star match on the card. It's not the main event. Beforehand, I predicted that the highest rated match would be Kazuchika Okada versus Tetsuya Naito, but I was wrong. Dave Meltzer's favorite match was actually Jericho versus Kenny Omega, and it was my favorite match of the show too. It was wonderful, and I think probably deserving of its 5-star rating status. Some of Meltzer's other ratings on the show indicated that it was a very strong one from his point of view, which a lot of people agree with, myself included. The main event got 4.5 stars. The 4-way match for the Junior Heavyweight Championship, that was Skull Ospreay, Kushida and Takahashi, that got 4.75 stars, a wonderful match. Goto and Suzuki got, I think, 4.5 as well, another really strong match. And the opening tag match between the Young Bucks and Roppongi 3K got 4 stars, and Cody and Ibushi got 4.25, I think. So a very strong show from top to bottom. In other news involving Kenny Omega, he has also signed a new 1-year contract with New Japan until January 2019. 1 year might sound like quite a short deal, but remember that a lot of contracts in New Japan aren't really on the same long-term basis as a WWE Superstars contract. So it's not unusual, and it's certainly not a sign that Omega's having 1 more year in New Japan. Though it might be the case, he might decide to leave after a year, but it's certainly not an indication either way. It's just more of a sign of his continued loyalty to the promotion. And finally, a big match has been announced for NXT TakeOver Philadelphia, which, remember, takes place on the 27th of January, the night before the Royal Rumble pay-per-view on the 28th. And this match was announced last night on NXT's weekly show on the network. William Regal came out and announced that it will be Adam Cole versus Aleister Black in an Extreme Rules match. Extreme Rules is sort of thematically appropriate, I guess, because the event is held in Philadelphia, which has a long history of hardcore wrestling, you know, ECW and that sort of thing. That's all the news for now. Thank you very much for watching this quick news update. I've been Jack from Cultaholic.com. Check me out on Twitter at JackTheJobber. Check all of us out at Cultaholic. There's a Facebook group. There's all sorts. There's also our Patreon, where you can view our system of tiered rewards if you would like to pledge because you enjoy what we do or that sort of thing. That would be greatly appreciated. And what's the other thing? Never, ever, ever forget to join us.